Oh, they were recording. I got a weird delay on this early part. Hey guys, welcome to another very special commentary done by Diggity. This is going to be Team Solo Mid. Check out their website at teamsolomid.net going up against Team CLG, clggaming.net. Check them both out. First of all, really big, oh man, so many good guides at Team Solo Mid. I don't even know where to start, and I need to focus because they're a fantastic team, and I've got a lot to say and not a lot to say here. In the opening portions, Tristana, Soraka, Nocturne, Cho'Gath being played by Chaox. That's Chaox backwards. Expect Oddbro, the odd one, okay. TRM, and Reginald playing Brand. Pantheon is not actually in that match. He's just the observer. Same thing with Katarina on the opposite side, although he does look very bronze. Sona, Orianna, Galio. Fortunately, this is a team I can see. Ashe and Fiddlesticks being played by Chouster, Big Fat GG Elements, Saint Vicious, and Hotshot GG. Should be an interesting team, and this is a very difficult team to go up against for Team Solo Mid. Team CLG has a lot of area effect damage, and honestly, the Ashe Fiddlesticks combination can be absolutely devastating if Ashe can land a large group slow and Fiddlesticks can jump that ultimate. On top of that, any of these small concave corners are going to be very difficult to engage in, period, just because of all the range AoE damage that the Orianna can output. The one thing is a lot of high-level teams do not like opening up Fiddlesticks for this reason, and this reason right here is, yes, Fiddlesticks is very powerful. He actually is great on Dragon later in the game, but early game he's extremely vulnerable because he absolutely has to get blue buff to start. So if he does not get blue buff to start, his entire opening jungle phase can be completely thrown off. And you have to assume there's going to be attacks right off the bat. So I'm expecting a level 1 team fight. Orianna checking that corner with that ball, keeping some nice distance. It's another advantage of Orianna that you can do some of that range scouting with her little ball effect. I should actually talk about the team composition. Never mind, a little bit late. So attack coming in, Ashe dropping arrow, not hitting anyone. Reginald actually leading towards the front, looking for a stun, as well as Oddbro right there. Is he going to hit? No, not hitting elements on the corner. Unfortunately, Reginald already losing about 100 health and having to back off. So there's the first incursion into the Fiddlesticks jungle. Keep in mind they're still around. Are they going to go back to lane? No, here they come for the other angle. Oddbro trying to group up. Orianna's ball is there. That's very diligent on Big Fat GG to keep an eye. And I assume that they're now going to back off, go for jungle, but everybody's staying nearby just in case. Looks like Fiddlesticks starting on the Wolves in the meantime. Just to start that jungle pattern. He's going to be a little bit lower on health as a result. Ashe starting to maneuver over to that back lane, starting to back up. And here's another incursion. Reginald, again, leading that field, does hit. Takes a little bit of damage on that Fiddlesticks. It looks like TRM getting isolated on that corner, and that might be a death for him. He's going to have to pin around. That's in the Sona just chasing, doing some damage right there. Galio eating some damage. Big Fat GG gets hit as well. 2 players isolated. They might have to waste flash just to get out of here. Reginald eating some more damage. And yes, we have, I think, a flash, and I missed actually whether the Cho'Gath flashed or not. I assume not. We're still going to see a pull on this lane. That's the other power of... Oh, never mind. Swing back around. I thought that was going to be it. But they're swinging up to the north. Cho'Gath leading. Almost, it looks like he did manage to pop up Hotshot and swing back around. Still trying to get rid of that buff. Chouster now isolating on Nocturne from the south. And Oddbro having to use his flash to escape that situation as well. So constant incursion, still not able to deny that blue buff. And Chouster doing a leash now there. And I think that is going to be it for the incursions. Almost 3 minutes spent around the blue buff area alone. Saint Vicious, though, that was an incredible opening right there. Saint Vicious is going to be able to isolate and take the blue buff. Great defense by Team CLG, and that is really going to set this off to a fantastic start for them. A Fiddlesticks jungle, absolutely incredible. First of all, the AoE ults plus that fear, very strong hopping out of that jungle. But specifically, it's his ability to sit on Dragon and maintain high health that can be so dominant in matches. That is also going to, and again, that AoE ult is absolutely fantastic. It's also going to force Team Solo Mid to keep an eye. Yes, he does have a very interruptible ultimate. So he's going to have to, so they're going to want to keep an eye, have a lot of wards out, have a lot of map control, had a lot of map vision specifically. This is very odd. Top lane, Chaox and Soraka, it looks like they're actually putting 2 on top with Galio right there. And so you're going to have the range carry actually against Galio, maybe because just Galio doesn't have a lot of harassment options. Cho'Gath on the southern lane, so only a single Cho'Gath on the southern lane to build him up. He is a fantastic mage tank, and in the meantime, that's going to allow Chouster to poke away as he can. I assume that TRM, yeah, he's already got a cloth armor and some health potions. He's going to need them against the Sona Ashe range. And just, again, Ashe, fantastic at the high level. She does need to be protected. Really the difference between the 2 attack damage carries here, nice sounds. Cho'Gath, actually let me talk about Cho'Gath since we have him in isolation right here. Cho'Gath, Cho'Gath, he's a great mage tank, has some fantastic utility, and is a really good anti-caster. So he could actually be the key to this fight. If he can hop and silence Orianna, if he can pop up Fiddlesticks in these matches, if he's really on top of his game, he might be able to turn things around, but it's going to be very, very difficult. Reginald a little bit low on mana here in the mid lane going up against Big Fat GG. Actually, I think both players opening up with boots and potions to start. I think Orianna really is the preferred caster, but Brand's so strong. He has all those stuns. He has a lot of AoE damage, and he also does some of that very strong damage over time. Nocturne in the jungle. Nocturne, another top-tier jungler. He's so fantastic. First of all, he has the longest dash in the game, which is essentially a teleport. It's a teleport. It's a ranged teleport, and when you block out that screen, it can really disrupt team compositions, particularly if you have someone who's out of position. They just can't tell what's going on, so Nocturne can be extremely disruptive in any fight. And he's he got a lifesteal, he's got spell shield, he has a fear effect. He's just such a strong character. He doesn't really need a huge amount of items to even be super effective. He's just got so much strength out of just his base abilities, in my opinion. Of course, you have Soraka, who's really, really strong support, has Wish, keep everybody alive. This is, by the way, before the heal nerf. Sona, of course, same thing on the opposite end, has a nice stun. Also, Soraka's silence can be absolutely critical, and Galio is really going to be the huge portion here, that AoE tank ult that he has, where he can just taunt everybody to him. If he manages to get a taunt with everybody there, with Fiddlesticks ult on top of it, and Orianna anywhere nearby, that can be 3 or 4 kills very, very easily, very, very quickly. So Team Solomon is going to have to be extremely spread out and very, very cautious throughout this match against Team CLG, and it looks like St. Fish is swinging around, wanting to get a kill. There's the fear, drops on Reginald. Reginald is ignited, but does slip through the corner, turning around, getting a flash, stun St. Fish is on the tower, but, oof, good to get a counter kill, but he does not get First Blood. First Blood does in fact go to St. Vicious. Nice ability on his part, actually, just to turn around and get the stun and the kill on turret, however. And woo, this is going to let Big Fat GG free farm, get a little bit of damage on turret, and that is it's very difficult to have your AP carry, well, have your opponent's AP carry sit and just be able to free farm like that, be able to get a lot of damage, be able to get a level advantage, be able to get an experience advantage, even with an assist. So nice job actually minimizing Reginald thus far. So 1 death to him, and that is, again, that's going to be another key thing, having your main damage output in the magic field. Having that reduced can be absolutely critical. And again, I'm kind of curious about the 2 top. I wonder if that's because of the Nocturne jungle and also the potential Fiddlesticks out in the corner. Nocturne can ult to Dragon if he has vision on it, if they have it well warded. And and actually is really fantastic at stealing Dragon as a result. Sometimes you end up sacrificing yourself if you don't have a flash up and whatnot. But nevertheless, I still think it's like it's a very, very... Nocturne has the distance, but Fiddlesticks has the sustain on Dragon. So I think Dragon fights are going to be very, very interesting, and it depends on Team Solomon's engagement. Fortunately, with Big Fat GG and Fiddlesticks, a lot of the approach routes to Dragon, specifically this area and this area, if they're out of position, they can just get damage unloaded at a distance. Big Fat GG in particular, Orianna can just do that spam damage from a distance and continually hop back and unload. Chaos continuing to, and I should actually take a look at the minion kills. Looks like Big Fat GG trying to bait Reginald out. We do have St. Vicious somewhere nearby, and I wonder if he's going to swing to the south first after taking wolves and then look for an engagement there. Looking at just the flat minion kills thus far, Brand doing pretty well here. That is Reginald at 40, just hitting 40. Tristana leading everyone at 56. Chowster pretty close at 49, but that Cho'Gath should start to get more aggressive now that he has a little bit more padding health. He does have his ultimate, so he can. Chowster's gonna have to play a little bit more cautiously. He gets bursted up. If Sona gets silenced, like no, I think it was just an Ashe silence right there. He can be ulted, and he ends up being very squishy. The difference between Tristana and Ashe, of course, Tristana has basically 2 escapes. You have that, and so you need a little bit less babysitting. Still need to be babysat because you're so squishy, but you can jump out of fights. You also have that ultimate that knocks your opponents back. So another critical thing, of course, for Team CLG is going to be keeping that Ashe live, but honestly, with the Fiddlesticks ult, setting that team scattering, with a fear effect just in case, and that Galio taunt, it's going to be much easier to protect Ashe, I think, than for Team Solo mid to try to protect Tristan on the opposite end as their ranged attack damage carry. So again, a lot of it will come down to positioning. Big Fat GG missing their arrow, just misses Reginald. I'm not sure if that's luck or skill in that sort of circumstance. It looks like Ashe was in that lower bush, sent it north, misses everything. It looks like Toppling was able to dodge out of the way. Dodge, that's what you do. Looks like Nocturne moving toward the north. I assume just to place a ward right there. In the meantime, Checking Odd Bro, I'm going to go, I think that is the odd one. In the meantime, he's got Modred's Razors working towards Boots of Speed. And Brand, in the meantime, you can look at the difference. Oriana already working her way towards, she's already got the Catalyst of the Protector. You're going to see that on Galio as well. Probably going to see that on the Cho'Gath eventually, because it's having some of that AP support is really fantastic. Reginald charging a little bit forward. There's a shield up for Big Fat GG, playing a little bit passively. Again, has that one assist and has Reginald down to that one kill, and he's getting pushed back off lane. But the more Dorn's rings you had to start, oftentimes it kind of an indication of how well you're doing in lane. Reginald already at 2 rings. That's going to front load his initial game, so what he wants to do is try to be aggressive, get as much damage accomplished as possible. Saint Fish is swinging around, looks like he's working towards that red buff. Sona actually, no, they're going to go for a gank here. Sona moving in, so it's going to be a 3-man gank. Reginald doing some damage, but he sniffs it out. Great positioning. I think there might have been a ward there, and a fail Fiddle ult, clearing out the minions, but very nice back off. And every time you have Fiddlestick's ult and end up with nothing, it is a win. It's in the bonus column. Sona actually being a little bit, well, not being very effective in that fight, not really having any option. Gonna do a clairvoyance there on that corner. It looks like she's gonna get counter clairvoyance as well. Galio, oops, missed it. Big Fat GG in the middle looks like able to get a kill and just a little bit of health left, and that is huge. Absolutely huge. Having, first of all, a Catalyst going up against 2 Dorn's rings and winning that fight, and on top of it, that's 2 kills now on Reginald. That's really going to slow him down. He's actually getting a 3rd Dorn's ring now. He's up to Sorcerer Boots as well. Tristana now covering mid lane, and I think this, I got to comment on this top lane. I love this top lane. I think it's hilarious. You have 2 very tanky, very sustainable champs that are just going to be wailing against each other in mid lane. Yes, you have the Silence, and there's the Catalyst. Probably working with the Rod of Agents for TRM, but it just reminds me of a Godzilla fight here. It's like Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla, where Cho'Gath, of course, has the feast, so he's probably the original Godzilla, where you have Galio, who's probably the villain here. Well, not the villain. It depends on which version, on what which Godzilla you're watching. Maybe it's Galio who's the protector of the city this time, but I just love it. It's the 2 gigantic, monstrous characters just battling it out fist for fist. I almost want to see little giant Tokyo things. Anyway, back to the match. It looks like we are seeing a gathering around Dragon, and it looks like there are 4 south. They might get caught with their pants down. Yes, getting caught with their pants down. Ult, Oddbro looking to engage Dragon. They're getting pinned in. He's going to have to flash over the wall. They're now positioned out, trying to swing around. This could be huge. Galio teleporting in. There was a silence right there. I'm not sure if Galio was able to ult, but it looks like Reginald's going to get caught to the north. Galio, with that silence being, I can't tell if he landed his ultimate or not. Looks like a Fiddlesticks ult running in as well. Ooh, and it looks like Fiddlestick's going to die on top of everything else. So evened up Team Solo Mid versus Team CLG. However, I think they still got Dragon. I'm not sure if Reginald managed to get that Dragon. No, because this is actually gone. It looks like the Dragon kill did go to Team CLG. So still an overall victory. Things not going well in that team fight, though. It looked like that was a fantastic silence on Galio. Not able to ult in. That ult plus that Fiddlesticks ult would have been absolutely incredible, and you can see the disruption that happened there. With that Nocturnal, he just, I assume that the same thing happened on screen where he just couldn't tell whether it went off. He didn't know if the taunt was there, ended up ulting in anyway. It was just devastating. It looks like Chaos just doing what he can. Ranged, it looks like he has gone for the Wriggles Lantern. This is actually, I think, the early stages of the Wriggles Lantern strategy, which is absolutely fantastic. First of all, a lot of sustain on Wriggles Lantern. Between that lifesteal, you can get a lot of additional minion kills. That helps at Dragon, that helps at Baron later on. A great item overall, and also that it's just the sustainability that you have in lane. It's almost like Catalyst or the Protector for spellcasters, where you can just sit, you get that lifesteal, you don't have to go back to buy wards, you can just continually plant those wards to keep yourself safe. I'm not surprised that we've actually seen a switch to that, and I have heard overall that they're planning on getting some more basically ward planting items for characters overall, and I think that would be really fun in the metagame overall, basically having like a mage ward item, having a jungler ward item, having a ranged attack damage mage item, tank ward item, that sort of thing, and I think that really could make some interesting adjustments to the game. So this top lane, unless we see a mega gank from either team, probably not going to see a lot accomplished, just because they do have a ton of health between them and a lot of escapability. Also, Galio can just do that taunt and then kind of wander out amongst other things. 3 Dorn's Rings again for Reginald. Another missed arrow. I'm getting very lucky to catch these. really heads up of him, and nice reflexes there to dodge out of the way. Chaos continuing to press this bottom lane with Ashe out of position. Looks like Fiddlesticks is swinging around. He's going to start blue buff, but very likely give it to Orianna. It looks like Orianna is switching over. This is that stage of the match where you want to start getting it there. Soraka in support in the bottom lane, looking at their ranged 80 carry minion kills though, which can be a huge indicator. It looks like 103 versus 106. Big difference here though. Ashe does have that BF sword, had that Norn's Blade to get the lifesteal there anyway, otherwise, and she has that Vampiric Scepter working towards a Bloodthirster to, again, have that sustainability overall in combination with that Sona heal. Yeah, just a sit in lane and whatnot, where you have Tristana, who's going to be a little bit more slowed down on the larger items, like a Black Cleaver, like an Infinity Edge, things like that, because of that Wriggles Lantern. That is kind of the trade-off there, but she is going to be very likely able to sit here a little bit longer earlier. Unfortunately, that's the phase of the game I missed, because you got the Vampiric Scepter now with that 12% lifesteal. Chester should be able to free farm as well. Still that Battle of Godzilla's up top. We do, it looks like, I assume this is full feast here, just from looking at Cho'Gath. Orianna mid lane, Reginald is missing. There's an ultimate on Nocturne. I think it was in this bottom lane. There's a Fiddlesticks ult out of nowhere. Fiddlesticks hitting but not doing enough damage. Does manage to get Nocturne on the turn, flashing out. Looks like he's getting pinned, and nice box out by Chowster. Also Eagle Eye to try to pin that Soraka. Soraka using Wish and a heal to try to escape. Looks like she's going to get picked off nevertheless. A nice double kill there by Chowster. Great play. So even though three, and it looks like Big Fat GG looking for a kill, they're easily going to be able to take bottom turret. Looks like they're going to do it for a trade for some minimal damage here on mid turret between Reginald and the minions. There's nothing that bottom lane can do though. They got completely cleared out. Also, they know Nocturne's not there to free jungle otherwise. Looks like Big Fat GG looking for a counterattack, sneaking around, but Reginald, I think he had a ward or something he's able to pull out just in time, or maybe he just knows that timing. But considering that Big Fat GG never revealed himself in the entirety of that fight, I assume that he in fact had a word between here and there. More minions pushing down, but nice victory there. Actually a big victory there for Team CLG. Now up a kill. They managed to kill Nocturne, which is actually pretty significant. Reginald still being minimized. In fact, Reginald at 3 deaths at this stage, which is huge whenever you can, again, slow down the opponent's mid lane like that. They have Dragon. They've got first turret as well, continuing to press things out. Going to see more free roaming now, so it looks like Elements moving towards the north. Does, again, just going to go for Philosopher's Stone. Actually should review items where we have a bit of a low. So it looks like a full Bloodthirster already up for Chowster. He has 2 kills, which is fantastic for that ranged attack damage carry. Lucky pick with 2 Dorn's rings, 4 Fiddlesticks. Catalyst already out for Hotshot GG. I would expect him to get his towards that Rod of the Ancients in not too long. Looks like he's just getting Merc Treads now. Orianna already has the Rod of the Ancients. Son of course in that support capacity. Tristana, BF Sword already. Nocturne, of course, getting a Wriggles Lantern. Already has an Avarice Blade. Is just trying to build gold where he can, look for kills where he can. And again, he can play a little bit lighter on items early off. Cho'Gath does have Callous Depector. Also has that Megatron Cloak to provide a little bit of that magic resistance. Very slow character, of course, but has, again, just so much utility and so much damage. And he's, again, more there for the utility than the raw damage output, even though he does have that one little attack and burst. He almost reminds me of a slow, healthier version of Garen, although that's kind of an odd comparison. Anyway, he doesn't spin to win, I guess. He's a little bit less mobile, but I think he has more overall health comparatively, and I might get shot in the foot for that later. They'll be like, no, Garen can have more health than standard, whatever. Top lane being completely uncontested, getting pounded down a little bit. All 5 are missing. Cho'Gath coming in. This is a very scary situation from CLG. They don't have vision on anybody. Dragon is up. Looks like the odd one. Okay, 3 in middle turret. But I don't think there's a lot they can do with Big Fat GG being supported by Sona there, because that ball and that distance, and particularly because again, because of just the way this fight has gone mid lane, it doesn't matter how many people they have there. Big Fat GG can just keep poking that ball and doing damage, and this is going to allow them actually to push up and work towards Dragon. It looks like Clairvoyance right there. As long as Big Fat GG holds this corner and continually pokes over there and does some of that burst damage. It looks like Fiddlesticks moving in that direction. We also have Ashe moving in that direction. Yeah, they should be able to hold this just through map positioning and 4, and we'll see whether that is the case or not. I'll feel awesome if it is. Looks okay. Moving up, there's a ward over that corner. That's going to make it a little bit more hairy. Here's Sona swinging around. Big Fat GG is holding the north. No, it looks like it's going to be a full engagement on Dragon. Okay, easily taking Dragon. Yeah, it looks like the team's just going to sit back. Again, I assume because of that Orianna threat on that corner, and also the Fiddlesticks threat, because if there was a bait there and they didn't have vision on the Fiddlesticks, if they basically moved into this area, it would be absolutely devastating, and I think Galio's teleport is still up. So just not wanting to engage that because of team composition, among other things, and also because of that Orianna on the corner and just able to burst damage. So I feel awesome right there. That was actually... Woo, okay, go diggity, and calling the League of Legends casting, whatnot. Anyway, Hotshot GG backing out. Looks like he's already got a Chain Vest working for him. He's very, very tanky, can absorb a lot of that attack damage. Really, you can see he's building more for that attack damage because of the Trishan and her ability to farm rather, and really minimizing against Reginald because he does have that 3 deaths. He does have a needlessly large rod. But still, the damage output and the sustainability of Big Fat GG is superior currently because Rod of Ancients and Big Fat and Needlessly Large Rod on the opposite corner. Saint Vicious killing those golems to the north, might swing out to support here. That is possible. We might see some sort of attack middle. Doesn't look like it though. Looks like expect supporting Reginald mid lane. Reginald just trying to farm where he can. 3 Orianna actually out of position to defend turret. This is kind of an odd situation. Maybe wanting to get blue support. Maybe some miscommunication here because Reginald getting some free hits now in mid lane. It looks like Saint Vicious went back. Didn't cover mid lane as well. Reginald invisible. Looks like Elements does have his oracles starting to do a little bit of ward hunting here and there. Tristana free farming mid now that the most of this team is accounted for. Still, it looks like Reginald absorb with that Soraki heal should be in there. Gonna be able to take that ward out. With that Soraki heal should be able to hang out here a little bit longer. But Big Fat GG, if he wants to push it really with his own Sona support, it's going to be very difficult to defend that turret just because that ability to toss that ball and just unload all sorts of damage as long as she doesn't get picked off from the northern corner. So essentially, if the entire other team is accounted for and we see that there's nobody coming out of the bushes, and I'm actually surprised they actually don't have wards right there. Arrow through misses again. Reginald in a nice off position. That's what I was talking about right there. TRM coming from the north, getting picked away at though by that Ashe. Cho'Gath is very slow and vulnerable to ranged attack damage carries as a result, but let's see if Galio runs in and ults. He does have a flash ult opportunity, maybe, and look how gathered this is. That plus a Fiddlesticks ult could be critical, and I'm waiting for it. There, the Orianna ult hits, actually does a ton of damage to Reginald. That's going to push him out of this fight, and yeah, the turret just getting picked away at because that, again, the team accounted for. Big Fat GG's result can just toss that ball at a distance and poke away at this. Still looking for that Galio ult. A silence right there is going to get back him off again. Silence is currently down. No flash. There looked like there was a path drop. Okay, turret down and backing up, and unfortunately for Team Solo Mid, I have no idea how they can engage this just because there's so much area effect damage that can be unloaded right here. Incredible amounts of damage from Team CLG, and again with that Orianna poke, that Ashe distance attack, as soon as minions get up there, they can just continually poke and harass away at these turrets, and also they can't group up and engage in any sort of capacity because that combination tech plus that AoE, that Fiddlesticks and that Galio. So a nice pop-up right there. Looks like managed to catch one more attacks right here. Look at, again, keep an eye on that Galio for initiation, even on that turret with all that burst damage. Reginald swinging in from the north. Looks like they're going to back up, drawing the team out. Looking for a switch and swing. There's Galio right there, pushing in, and there it is, dropping in. Wow, catching everybody. Fiddlesticks ult on top of it, and Team Solo Mid getting crushed. Just a little bit impatient there, I think. Oh my goodness. Ouch. The entire team getting annihilated right there. Yeah, and there's the call. AoE too strong. I can't believe they moved away from turret in that situation. Granted, I guess it was maybe one of those impatient things where they were saying like, well, we're just going to sit here and get poked away forever, but I expected them to take another route, maybe try to swing around from the north with I guess it was the eyes on Cho'Gath, and they would have known if Cho'Gath was missing that something was up. But really difficult because Team Solo Mid with not a lot of initiation, and I think that was what Reginald's plan was here from the south, but maybe if he came in from a different angle, he would be out of position a bit, but maybe been able to open something up. But unfortunately, with, again, that quarter spread right there, Team CLG able to get a complete wipe. Now 10-4, they're moving up to Baron. Very likely will be able to take top turret. Actually, I don't think they'll take Baron just yet, but they're in a position where they can because that inhibitor's down, and essentially whenever you have that inhibitor down, it becomes very difficult to deny your opponent's Baron without just losing a lot of lane pressure on any lane. It looks like Big Fat GG also attacking that bottom turret. It is down to 312 health. Team CLG gonna back out. They have plenty of gold to run with now. And I gotta say, great plays across the board. Tristana doing really well on the minion hits. Actually, Cho'Gath getting pretty fed in that regard as well. Hotshot GG already has his Frozen Heart. Looks like we do have a Kindle Gem here on Elements. But overall, I gotta say, 10-4. That's really the story right here. It looks like Baron has been warded, and Big Fat GG actually able to get bottom turret basically uncontested on top of everything else. That ward right there allowing that to happen, and also the minion push in middle lane. Can feel safe right there. But wow, great play from Team CLG thus far, and I gotta say they got such a strong team composition here. Absolutely brutal team composition. I'm wondering how that kind of ended up in the overall match picking, and they're really playing it well. Looks like they're gonna switch around, and right now, okay, difficult situation because yes, Team Solo Mid is missing, but at the same time, the ults look like they're mostly back up. You have the Arrow ult, you have the Fiddlesticks ult, you have the Galio ult up across the board, and then again, any group engagement where it's not just kind of, and that's the thing, they're going up, they got to be a pokey team, but they really don't have poke to work with. Looks like they're checking Baron. We're expecting a Baron engage, and they might get caught out of position as a result, dropping right there. They do not want to engage here. Looks like Tristana is very high on that opposite corner. They were looking for blue buff. They definitely have to abandon blue buff because, again, they can't win in these small, unmaneuverable corridors with Fiddlesticks around, especially with Big Fat GG there to support and drop that AoE. Big Fat GG now has blue buff on top of everything else, and oh, this is a difficult situation. So Sona Blue with blue buff, Big Fat GG with blue buff, and it looks like they are spotting Oddbro as well as Reginald there in the mid, so they're going to go ahead and engage on Baron, try to kill him before that swing. They also have a ward to know if they're out of position, they need to escape. This is, well, let's see what happens here. Are they going to be able to engage? There's a Clairvoyance. They're going to see it, and an attempted ult in from Nocturne, getting pinned out there, and I think that Ash Arrow was to hit and stun. I'm not sure whether it hit and stun Nocturne or not, but great defense. Team CLG gets Baron, and now it is going to get the pain upon pain. Tristana getting caught out in the corner. Nice leap out. Was able to escape, but Reginald being pinned to the north by St. Fishes. Some nice stuns. Reginald, ooh, oh, nice. And now with some support, he's going to be able to escape there. Looks like there was a silence on Galio, was attempting to ult to the south with Ash again. Unfortunately, did not hit it. Now hitting his ult and doing some more damage. Big Fat GG able to get a lot of damage done. That silence, actually, that was a key silence on Galio, able to end up killing him, at least in this fight, but it doesn't make a difference because there's still 4 Baron buffs out. There's still Chaucer swinging around down that corner. Attempted flash, absolutely wasted there. That top turret is very certainly going to die. There's also a huge minion push bottom lane that they really can't engage with. Oof, Nocturne has his work cut out for him because he's getting pushed basically on all fronts. Galio actually calling that silence. Absolutely fantastic. I'm not sure whether it came from Soraka actually or the Cho'Gath. I thought it was from the Cho'Gath. But yeah, really well played by Team Solo Mid, but it looks like Team CLG just too strong, really playing their team well, really just controlling engagements in a very difficult situation from Team Solo Mid. CLG, though, gotta say, they played it absolutely perfectly, top to bottom. And it looks like this bottom inhibitor is going to get poked away at. I'm not sure there's a lot Team Solo Mid can do about it. Reginald, wow, losing almost half his health right there. Just from one shot from Big Fat GG. Yeah, and that's the last inhibitor. I like that Team Solo Mid is fighting it to the end. Oof. And I gotta say, key things here. First of all, 5 deaths on Reginald. 5 kills on Chaucer. Absolutely fantastic. Also, if you look at Big Fat GG, 4 kills for her as well. It looks like I have a bit of a freeze here. Oh, looks like I accidentally paused it. Still working this replay system. Hopefully that'll be adjusted. Oh, arrow on Reginald. First one that's hit him that I've seen. He's dead. Fiddlesticks ult just going to push him out of that corner. They don't even care about turrets anymore. Still trying to do what they can. And yeah, Chester just with so much damage between that Bloodthirster and that Phantom Dancer with the two Dormant Blades, very quickly taking out that turret, and that is going to be game. Great play from both guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll get more of these out. And yeah, actually, pretty proud of that commentary right there. Thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed.